Morning students. Today I am going to discuss our environment, social science, geography, class 7, chapter 3. And the chapter name is Our Changing Earth. It is an important and interesting chapter. Let's start. At first, landmass of the earth has been formed during different geological periods, which has influenced her relief. Beside geological formations, a number of processes such as weathering, erosion, and deposition have created and also modified the relief to its present form. Earth scientists have attempted to explain the formation of physical features with the help of some theories. One such theory is plate tectonic theory, and according to this theory, the lithosphere or crust of the earth has been formed out of 7 major and some minor plates. Lithospheric plates. The lithosphere broken into a number of plates which are known as lithospheric plates, which can float across the heavier semi-molten rock below. These plates move around very slowly, just a few centimeters to millimeters each year. These plates move because of the movement of the molten magma inside the earth. The molten magma inside the earth moves in a circular manner as shown in the activity. The earth crust or lithosphere consists of several large and some small, strong, irregular shaped plates, which carry continents and the ocean floor. There are 7 major and several minor plates. The movement of this plate causes changes on the surface of the earth. In this picture, we see the 7 major and some minor lithospheric plates, and the arrow sign display the movements of these plates. Here, Pacific plate is the largest plate, and our country India, here you see our country India lies on the Indo-Australian plates. Here we see the classification of the earth movements and evolution of landforms. There are 2 types of earth movements. One is endogenic forces and other one is exogenic forces. Under endogenic forces, there are 2 parts. One is sudden forces and another is diastrophic or slow forces. Earthquake, volcano and landslides are include sudden forces, and building mountains, plateau, plains are include diastrophic or slow forces. Under exogenic forces, erosional and depositional works are done, and river, wind, sea waves and ice or glaciers do these erosional and depositional works. Now discuss what is earth movements. There is variation in size, shape and nature of the earth's surface, which is continuously formed by some internal or endogenic and modified by some external or exogenic forces, which is collectively known as earth movements or geomorphic process. The earth movements are divided on the basis of the forces. These are endogenic forces and number 2, exogenic forces. What is endogenic forces? The forces which act in the interior of the earth are called as endogenic forces. Here, endo means inside and genic means origin. Endogenic forces are responsible for both slow or diastrophic and sudden changes of the earth's surface by compression, tension, subsidence, etc. Number 2, exogenic forces. The forces that work on the surface of the earth are called as exogenic forces. Here, Exo means outside and genic means origin. Exogenic forces are active on the Earth's surface continually. Earth's surface is modified by the natural agents of gradation. Here, gradation means leveling of undulated or uneven surface of the Earth by the process of erosion and deposition, like river, sea waves, ice or glacier, and wind. Now discuss endogenic forces. Endogenic forces which act in the interior of the Earth. And endogenic forces are responsible for both sudden and slow changes of the Earth's surface. Its are two types, sudden forces and diastrophic or slow forces. What is sudden forces? Sudden movements like earthquake and volcanoes are responsible for mass destruction over the surface of the Earth. It's called sudden forces. And what is diastrophic or slow forces? In diastrophic forces, millions of million years take to change the Earth's surface. And the resultant landforms are mountain, plateau, plain, etc. Sudden endogenic forces. Volcanoes and earthquake are responsible for sudden endogenic forces. Volcanoes, like it is a vent in the earth crust through which molten material erupts suddenly. Here molten materials means magma. Most of the volcanoes of the world are located along the plate boundaries. In most volcanoes, there is a funnel-shaped hollow at the top of the cone which is known as crater. You see the picture. The upper part, the funnel-shaped features is called crater. Gaseous ash and magma erupt from here, and the lower part is called magma chamber, where magma is stored in the mantle. Number 2, earthquake. When the lithospheric plate moves, the surface of the earth vibrates and the vibration can travel all around the earth. These vibrations are called earthquakes. The vibration can travel in the form of seismic waves. You can see the pictures of origin of an earthquake. Earthquake. When the lithospheric plates move, the surface of the earth vibrates and the vibration can travel all around the earth, and these vibrations are called earthquakes. The place in the crust where the movement starts is called focus, and the place on the surface above the focus is called epicenter. It is an important question. What is focus and what is epicenter? Vibration travel outwards from the epicenter as a waves. In this picture, the bottom orange circle show the focus of the earthquake from where it starts, and top orange circle on the surface show the epicenter and from where the vibration travel outwards. Several yellow circles around the focus show the seismic waves. Greatest damage is usually closest to the epicenter, and the strength of the earthquake decreases away from the epicenter. Three types of earthquake waves. Number 1, P waves or longitudinal waves. It's are the fastest seismic waves and can move through solid, liquid or gases. It's also called primary wave. Number 2, S waves or transverse waves. S waves are the secondary waves to arrive during an earthquake. They are much slower than P waves and can travel only through solids. And last one is L waves or surface waves. L waves can only move along the surface of the earth like ripples on the water. Maximum damage in the earth occur from these waves. L or surface waves are the slowest seismic waves and are the final waves to hit an area after an earthquake. Earthquake is a physical disaster and it cannot be predicted. But the impact can certainly be minimized if we are prepared beforehand. Some common earthquake prediction methods adopted locally by people include studying of animal behavior, fish in the ponds get agitated or offended, and number 3, snakes come to the surface. An earthquake is measured with a machine is called a seismograph. Seismograph is an instrument that measures and records details of earthquakes such as force and duration. You can see the machines of the seismograph. The magnitude of the earthquake is measured on the Richter scale. Here, the Richter scale was developed in 1935 by American seismologist Charles Richter. In Richter scale, an earthquake of 2.0 or less can be felt only a little. But an earthquake over 5.0 can cause damage from things falling. And a 6.0 or higher magnitude is considered very strong and 7.0 is classified as a major earthquake. You can see the chart of the Richter magnitude scale and their earthquake effects. Earthquake preparedness. What to do during an earthquake? At first, safe spot under a kitchen counter, table or desk against an inside corner or wall. Number 2, stay away from fireplace, areas around chimneys, windows that shutter including mirrors and picture frames. And number 3, be prepared, spread awareness among your friends and family members and face any disaster confidently. This picture shows what you can do during the earthquake. First drop, then cover, and last one hold. Major landforms. A landform or landscape is a natural feature of the Earth's surface. Mountains, hills, plateaus, and plains are the 4 major types of landforms. The landform or landscape is being continuously owned or taken away by 2 processes. 1, weathering, and number 2, erosion. What is weathering? It is the breaking up of the rocks on the Earth's surface. It's called weathering. What is erosion? It is the wearing away or eroded of the landscape by different natural agents like water, wind, and ice or glacier. It's called erosion. When eroded material is carried away or transported by water, wind, or ice and glacier and eventually deposited is called deposition. This process of erosion and deposition create different landforms on the surface of the Earth. Here we see the picture. The rock is weathered and eroded by natural agents, and this type of erosion is called honeycomb erosion. Number 1, work of a river. Combined action of river erosion, transportation, and deposition develops different types of landforms. River plays an important role as an agent of gradation on primary landforms. The rivers develop typical landforms in its course of journey towards the ocean, and such landforms are: number 1, waterfall. Waterfall is an erosional work of the river. When the river tumbles or falls in at steep angle over very hard rocks or down a steep valley side, it forms a waterfall. Or when a river descends down from a higher point to a lower point due to horizontally arranged alternate soft and hard rocks, then waterfall is formed. Example, Jonah waterfall in Jharkhand. You can see the picture of waterfall. Number 2, meander. This type of features we can see in the erosional and depositional work of river, and when the river enters the plain, it twists and turns, forming large bends or turn known as meander. It's look like the snake type. Meander name derived name of the river Meandares in Turkey, which is very much widened. We can see meander shape of the river Ganga in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. You can see the pictures of river meander. There are thousands of small waterfalls in the world. The first one is the highest waterfall is Angel Fall of Venezuela in South America. Second one is Niagara waterfall located on the border between Canada and USA in North America. And third one is Victoria waterfalls on the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe in Africa. And last one is Jonah waterfalls in Jharkhand, India. Third features is Oxbow Lake. Oxbow Lake is a depositional work of river. Due to continuous erosion and deposition, the ends of the meander loop or bends come closer and closer. At that time, the meander loop cuts off from the river and forms a cut-off lake, and this lake is called Oxbow Lake. In the middle as well as lower coast or plain area, we can see this type of depositional feature. The shape of the lake is horseshoe, so that is also called Horseshoe Lake. We can see Oxbow Lake on the river Ganga near Patna, Bihar. Next one is flat plain. It is the depositional work of a river. At the times of flood, the river overflow its banks, means both sides, and deposit layers of fine soil and other material called sediments along its bank. This leads to the formation of a fertile flat land. It's called flat plain. It is an agriculturally productive part. You can see the pictures of flat plain. Next one is levee. It is also a depositional work of a river. During floods, deposition of sediments take place along the two banks of a river and forming an embankment or dam. It's called levees. You can see the pictures of levees. Last one is delta. It is also depositional work of a river. A delta is a triangular piece of land that develops at the mouth. Mouth means where river meet to the sea of rivers by the deposition of sediments. It looks like the fourth letter delta of the Greek alphabet. You can see the pictures of delta, and it is a triangular landmass. And last one is what is distributaries. When the river approaches the sea, the speed of the flowing water decreases and the river begins to break up into a number of streams or channels. It's called distributaries. You can see the picture here, some distributaries of a main river, and triangular shaped landform is called delta. Now discuss work of sea waves. The erosion and deposition of the sea waves gives rise to coastal landforms. Sea waves continuously strike or hit at the rocks and cracks develop on it. The sea waves develops typical landforms on the coastal area, and such landforms are: number 1, sea caves. Sea cave is a landform that formed by the erosional work of the sea waves. Sea waves continuously strike or hit at the rocks, and over time they became larger and wider. Thus, hollow-like caves are formed on the rocks and they are called sea caves. Number 2. Sea arc. It is also an erosional work of the sea waves. When these rocks, cavities or hole become bigger and bigger, only the roof of the caves remain, and thus forming sea arc. These two pictures show the two features of sea caves and sea arc. Next one is stacks. It is an erosional work of the sea waves. When further erosion breaks the roof of the caves and only walls are left, and these wall-like features are called stack. You can see the picture of stack, just wall-like features. Next one is sea cliff. The steep rocky coast rising almost vertical above seawater is called sea cliff. Western coastal plain of the India near the Arabian Sea, we can see this type of landform. Last one is beach. When the sea waves deposit sediments along the shore or coast and forming the beach. Almost all the coastal area we can see the beach. Next, work of ice or glacier. A glacier is a huge mass of ice that moves slowly over land surface. Glaciers are also called river of ice. The river Ganga rises in the Gangotri Glacier on the Himalayas, and the river Tista rises in the Jemu Glacier on the Himalayas. But at present, glacial or ice activity is restricted in the polar regions and on the high mountains. Ice or glacier develops typical landforms on this area, and such landforms are number 1, lakes. Lakes is a erosional work of ice or glacier. Glacier carve out deep hollows on the mountain areas. As the ice melts from the hollows, they get filled up with ice melting water and become beautiful lakes in the mountains. Like Rupkund, Bhimtal Lake in Uttarakhand, Dal Lake in Jammu and Kashmir are such example of glacial lakes. Number 2 and last one is glacial moraines. The materials carried by glacier such as big and small rocks, sand and silt gets deposited, and this deposited form glacial moraines. Or when sand, clay, gravel are deposited by a glacier are called moraines. We can see this type of features at the foothill of the mountain. You can see both the pictures of glacial lake and glacial moraines. Next, work of wind. An active agent of erosion and deposition in the desert area is wind. The dryness and the lack of vegetation in desert makes it easier for wind to pick up, transport and deposit large quantities of sediments. And winds develop typical landforms on the desert area, and the speed of the wind in this area is high. And such landforms are number 1, mushroom rock. First, it is an erosional work of the wind. When winds erode the lower part of the rock more than the upper part, therefore such rock have narrow base and wider top, and the shape of these rocks looks like a mushroom. So it is called mushroom rock. You can see the pictures. The lower part is eroded more than the upper part, and it's look like the mushroom shape. And another name of this type of feature is gore, which is common in Sahara Desert in Africa. Number 2, sand dunes. It is a depositional work of winds. When the winds blow, it lifts and transports sand particles from one place to another place. When winds stop blowing, the sand particle falls and gets deposited in low hill-like structures. These are called sand dunes. Sand dunes are common in every desert area like Thar Desert in India, Sahara and Atacama Desert in Africa, Gobi Desert in China, etc. Last one is loess. It is also a depositional work of winds. When the sand particles are very fine and light, the wind carry it over very long distance. When such sand is deposited in large areas, it is called loess. Large deposit of loess is found in China along the Huanghe River Valley, where sand carried away from the Gobi Desert. Thank you.